Open the meeting number 12,149 of the Killingworth Planning and Zoning Commission, Tuesday, July 15th, 7 p.m. And so I'm going to call to order, and Tom has a motion.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to move item number 7C up to right before visitors brief public comment.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, so we'll do that. Item first, shouldn't be too long. It's basically, if you scroll down, or I'm scrolling down, it's basically the municipal improvements. There's 3 applications. The first one is application number 396, and it's for a 30-foot by 40-foot heated vehicle storage building for the fire department. Eric, you want to make a comment on that?
Sure. So, we've cleared the land for what eventually will be that, but, oh, we'll withdraw it for a moment then. Never mind. I'll withdraw that. You don't want me to present the whole thing. I was just gonna provide a brief update and say, we don't have the site plans for you yet, so we'll come back at the next meeting.
Oh, okay. That's fine then.
Okay, thank you.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so we don't have the site plans yet. They're still working on them, but when we do, we'll bring it forward to you. Next up, if you want me to continue on, unless you have
Yeah,
a
the
question.
next one.
So it's 24 by 50 wooded pavilion, at Eric Howard Park. So that, where that has been, that is a project that was approved at town meeting. And I think, from what we've looked at, it's been discussed and talked about with Park and Rec, but it was never actually brought to planning and zoning as an addition to that location or part of the master plan. And so I am coming here on behalf of Park and Rec to get approval for that. I believe Linda has the proposed location.
Yeah.
It's not in the way of anything.
And
I'm not sure why.
it was originally proposed for a different location.
Yes.
There was, based on the minutes that I read, there were some issues with drainage. And so you guys didn't approve it because the drainage wasn't resolved.
Mhm.
So they have now moved it from over here to over here, but there are no drainage issues.
Okay.
And I think where they had it proposed, there's some playground stuff there now. So
Yeah, they
there's
put some,
some-
and they put the outhouses or something there too, also, so.
Mhm.
They needed to move it.
Yeah, so you come in off Parker Hill, you come in, the entrance is right about here.
Yeah.
So you're looking for an approval from the commission?
That, yes,
Yeah, okay.
that location.
You want to just,
Yeah, someone want to make a motion?
yeah, I would move to approve application number 397, 24 by 15 wooded pavilion at Eric Howard Park as presented on the site plan that was presented by our CEO.
Any discussion? Anybody who got that? Any questions or discussion on that? Okay, then,
Second.
Need a second.
yeah. Sorry, we didn't have a second. Okay, then. So still no discussion?
Where was it before?
It was up
Up here.
there, yep.
Or to the handicap spots?
Yeah, kind of where the porta potties are
Not
and,
north of it, but
Right where the,
East of it.
like, shed is now.
yeah,
Yeah, the football shed.
yeah.
Okay.
I drove by the other day, it didn't seem like it was encroaching on the edge of the fields.
No,
It
it wasn't fine.
5 feet
There's
off
like,
of it.
picnic tables there. right
Yeah,
now. And right now they put like the water, anytime they have events now, they
Yeah.
put water there and stuff. It kind of makes sense to put it there if they're gonna put something,
Yeah.
so.
which if you've gone to Sheldon, that's why the pavilion at the Sheldon has always been there, is to provide that shaded area for
Yeah.
water and so forth.
Okay.
Just similar.
It's, yeah, it's
that-
basically the same.
That location seems to make sense.
Okay, any other discussion, comments, questions? All right, so, why don't we vote on this, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so it's approved unanimously. Application 397 as presented. Then application 398 is a new culvert on Abner Lane Road over Chatfield Hollow Brook.
So this is a project that's gonna be taking place next year, but we're kind of getting our ducks in a row to get everybody aware of it. I'll provide a little bit of history. This is Abner Lane Road is one of the last dirt roads in town. And unfortunately, people have, or GPS tends to send people down it as a cut through from 148 to 80 and vice versa. And truck drivers follow that path. And so last year, at some point, a truck driver drove over this bridge that had been a stone, one of those stacked stone bridges that lasted for 100 years and made it last no longer. So we were able to repair it, but needs to be replaced. And so we'll be coming forward to you with a box culvert to replace that location. It's with inland wetlands right now. And we're getting the feedback from Army Corps, Deep, et cetera, because it borders Chatfield Hollow and the Madison Run and Gun Club. So
This goes over
Wetlands.
Yeah,
Well,
Chatfield Hollow Brook.
yeah,
yeah,
I have the plan to, want to look at them.
Yeah, and these are full scales.
I couldn't remember if that brook is named because there's another brook in the area that is.
Yeah, there's like a couple of lakes to it here.
Yeah,
Yeah, Wetlands has the
Right, you're
information, they walked it Friday.
Yeah, I was just seeing.
there was a sidewalk with Department of Energy and Environmental Protection and Engineer and Public Works yesterday. I was not able to attend unfortunately because it was the Monday of all Mondays. And so it seems though that there's a lot of interest in it. There might be one change to the current design at the request of DEP. Basically, people like to park in that location and use one of those spots as sort of a staging point for hiking. And so they were kind of like, well, could you knock a couple of trees down and build like some little parking space in the area that's the town? And we're trying to get all the easements to do the work and we're looking at that, but that'll be something, that's part of the reason why we're not bringing it forward right now. It's also not a town project yet, but it's on the docket, and the multi-year plan for next year.
Okay, so there's informational at this point.
Yeah, informational.
So that's all you have, right?
That's all I had. I would like to take a moment to thank all of you leading into visitor comments for the approval of the adult regs that you did at your last meeting. So, or the active adult community regs that you did at your last meeting. I think housing is going to be one of the big challenges in the state in the next couple of years, and being ahead of the curve is better than getting forced by the state to do things that might not work for Killingworth. So thank you.
On this one, the only thing on the application, I noticed there were a lot of blanks on the front page. I don't know if that's gonna be. filled
Yeah,
in some of this.
I'll fix that.
Okay.
That's part of the reason why we did bring it to.
Right. So we won't vote on this, right?
No.
Okay. Push it to the next future ones, which is informational.
Yeah, this was just information.
Okay, all right, thank
Mhm.
you. All right, thanks here.
Yep, thank you. Good evening.
Thanks, Eric.
You too. In the back. Okay, so municipal item 7C have been covered, so we'll jump back up to item 2, which is visitors. So if we have any visitors who want to make a brief public comment that isn't related to one of the agenda items, then feel free to give your name, address, and comment.
I would like to say
Go ahead,
something.
sure, yep.
I have a couple neighbors here, but I won't speak for them, speak for myself. My name is Lorin Cavacci Sekban. I live at 45 Hemlock Drive. and I've been there for 10 years, a resident of Killingworth for 19 years. So what is happening in my neighborhood is that behind my house, there is a neighbor who purchased, I don't know if it was 15 acres or 18 acres, I'm not really sure, but I would say for the past year and a half, there has been constant tree felling, just a massive amount of deforestation. I'll use that word. There's a industrial sized wood chipper. He has a flatbed trailer. I can look back there and see. It used to be that I couldn't see, but I can now see with my own eyes just by standing in my yard. He has a massive flatbed trailer. I don't know if he moved these trees, but it was not a residential type of, it's kind of this type of thing you might see at Running Brook Farms, a really large flatbed trailer with a lot of trees on it that he was, I would say, processing, milling. I'm not really sure. Unfortunately, he was recently approved for a 30 by 70 foot garage or shed, or I don't know what they're calling it. So I'm late in the process on that because I think some of the neighbors, like I said, I do have a couple neighbors here, curious what the plans are for that 30 by 70 foot. We have to listen to just constant tree felling, wood chipping. It's constant. It starts at about 7:15 in the morning and it can go until, 7, 8 p.m. It's on 4th of July, he was doing it. Memorial Day, he was doing it. There's no quality of life for me in my yard anymore. I can't even sit out on my deck. So what was happening originally is deforestation. I know it's a fancy big word, but I don't know what else to call it. And now that he's been approved by the 30 by 70, I really want to know if there's going to be a commercial interest there. Because judging from the equipment on the property, I have to believe there's a very large scale operation happening. It doesn't look like, it just doesn't look like a weed whacker and a lawnmower. You know what I mean? It's there, the equipment is very large scale, very large trucks.
Is his property commercial or residential?
It's residential. So
This is
Can I
on,
just ask
Yeah.
a question? Did you just put in a
I did
complaint?
yesterday.
Yeah, okay,
Correct.
so I
That
just
was
saw
me.
it today.
Yeah, I wish I had sent it in earlier.
Yeah, so I just got it today when I came in.
Yeah.
but it's on Hemlock?
No, I'm on Hemlock, he's on Route 81, but the noise, our
Yeah.
properties, I'm sorry,
308.
yeah, 308, so our properties adjoin.
Is this
And-
where the road has just been cut in off 81? Just
Well,
north of
it's a
the,
long driveway.
just north of
I'm-
the.
Oh, yeah,
I'm-
I know, yeah.
If that's what we're talking about.
No, it's
It's
not
not
the house
parking.
that where they're
It
building
was
the house.
No,
Ernie,
it's the
Ernie
one-
Hill's property.
I'm sorry?
Does anybody know Ernie Hill? I'm Susan Flynn, 314 Route 81,
Okay.
and I'm here just to
hear the noise,
hear
too.
her.
So it's just north
Yeah.
on the west side of Route 81, just north of, where the
Package store.
package
Oh,
store.
yeah,
is.
St.
Opposite
Lawrence.
the ball fields, almost
Yes.
opposite of Hearn Field.
I'm Scott Chamberlain, 29 Hemlock Drive.
It's north of the church?
It's up 81.
So it's
It's
north of the
just
church.
above Shipwreck Tavern.
Yeah,
It's
that
the drive
property
goes
just above
So
behind-
that's not
Right.
north of the church, that's
No.
The
south.
drive goes
No.
behind the church and it goes back into the woods
Yeah.
behind my property.
So just directly north of the package store.
Well,
There's a
It's
new.
more like St. I would use
no.
St. Lawrence as
Opposite
more
of
of
Let
a,
me just try to clarify.
I would use St. Lawrence.
Just let me clarify. There's a new road that's been
No, that's not what we're
poked in
talking
there,
about,
and I
no.
believe that's for a single family
No,
house.
we're not,
That's
that's not why we're
Right.
here.
That's not it.
That's not why we're
No,
here.
it's an existing property and he did get
Approval.
a zoning approval and building
Okay, so
approval.
we're not talking about that one.
No,
Okay.
to build a accessory.
30 by 70.
Oh, so it's
Structure.
above St. Lawrence Church.
Yes, it's basically if
Okay.
you were to stand at St. Lawrence and, look behind St. Lawrence, it's,
Right behind the wetlands.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of wetlands back there
So
as
the
well.
access, the access is off of Hemlock?
81.
No.
No, it's off of 81.
So
So
His
you go
driveway.
just north of the church of St. Lawrence,
Yeah, okay.
and then there's a driveway or something?
Oh, yeah, there's quite a few driveways,
There's
on
several.
81.
Well, I mean, that leads to his property and
Yeah.
you can't see
There's
any of this.
304, 308, 312, 314. And they're all very long driveways.
Coming out of Recycle Way,
Mhm.
you go
Okay.
straight across the street.
Ah,
Three
okay,
dirt
all right,
driveways.
okay,
I am the northernmost driveway,
okay.
and it is not shared. The two more, the one in the middle and the most southern driveway are shared properties that lead to where Ernie and Iris Hill used to live,
Yeah, I
where,
don't know.
I forgot their other name, and Jonathan Hosney lives in there.
304. He's at 304.
Linda,
What-
did you pull a permit on this
He pulled a permit for the
shed?
structure, yeah,
Okay, all right.
for the shed, and I mean, we don't have a size limit of what size. I mean, there are many properties in town who have built, you know,
It's very
barns big that
huge.
big,
And the address is what, 3?
308, and so,
There's no residence on the property?
yeah, there is.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
have
there's
it
a
here.
house.
It's where Ernie and Iris Hill used to live.
Okay.
And this is the
Homeowner living there?
Yep.
Okay.
When you said.
Ernie
No.
Hill.
That's, yeah,
Yeah,
but
Ernie and
this
Iris
gentleman's
Hill,
name is,
formerly.
this
Yeah,
gentleman's
right,
name is
okay.
Mario Gugeri.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And he's been in, so, to pull the permit. and
Okay.
everything.
Does an application for a building require a reason for its use?
No.
What he's,
Okay, so
okay.
this is the first the commission is hearing about this?
I heard it at 12 o'clock when I came in, it was on my
Right,
desk.
so the
So,
appropriate avenue for this type of thing is through a zoning enforcement officer. Linda is good. We'll look into it and report back and see what we got.
Do you want to say anything, Scott? I know.
Yeah, I can attest to the noise that's going on.
Yeah.
That property is right on my property line,
Mhm.
on the other side of the woods.
Right,
And now I can see his property through my woods. So
Right.
he's done a lot of tree removal.
right, he has,
Why-
you know, a few acres if he wants to clear his land and it's not in the wetlands. You know, it's not
Okay.
there.
I'm just here to get some facts because this
Mhm.
is the
Yeah,
first,
well,
I've
yeah.
been listening to the noise for almost 2 years now.
wow.
We moved from Route 80 in Guilford, so into a secluded neighborhood in Killingworth to get some peace and quiet. And we're not getting that, but, I'm just here for information and, you know, I'd like to know whether, if this is residentially zoned, and if he's running a business there, if he's allowed to run a business, did he get a variance to make it a industrial zone or anything like that? So, I mean,
Yeah, Linda could answer all that.
if he's doing everything within his rights, I don't have a
Yeah.
problem, but I
Those are all good,
dislike the noise.
good questions, good concerns,
Mhm.
and Linda will look into it.
They will.
And there are some wetlands back there.
Right, I know that, because we made sure when he did the shed that it was, you know, with that.
And Linda's also the wetlands official as
Yeah,
well.
so just so you all
Mhm.
know, I am here only part-time, so
Mhm.
I can't give you instant results.
Mhm, sure.
Okay.
Basically Tuesday.
But there is no
Wednesday.
sound ordinance for this town, correct, for Killingworth? Because the level of sound, I mean, I'm telling
Yeah,
you, the
it's-
ground shakes sometimes, I'm
we-
telling you. He has massive equipment over there. I
We
don't know what
follow
it is,
the-
but
State, noise ordinances, that's what's in our regs, but they're very difficult to
enforce.
enforce, to
Yes.
prove the
Because you have to
sound.
prove it, correct?
Yeah, you have to be trained in the equipment and all
Yeah.
of that.
You have to have like a decibel meter.
Yeah,
and-
you have to be properly trained in everything, which. you know,
So here's what I don't, you know, and then we can move on. That I don't understand. If this has been going on for 2 years,
Year and a half is what I,
so a year and a half, I mean,
Yeah.
a year. He could have gone in and clear cut every single tree on his property
Sure.
and ground it up into sawdust, and
I-
we've done
I-
that in less than
I
a year and
assumed
a
that
half.
he was clearing some property to build another,
Yeah.
addition to his home or whatever he was doing, but to be doing it for a year and a half.
That's what I
seems
mean, there's not
excessive to
enough
me.
trees there. If
Yeah,
it was a
no.
dense forest, as
lot-
you
A
said.
lot of heavy equipment and digging, and there's a lot of stuff going on back there. And I try to stay out of it, but it is annoying.
Oh, yeah, I mean, totally. I just don't.
I don't have any birds. I mean, all the birds have left my yard. They're like, we're out of here. You know, I was a bird watcher. They're just gone.
Well,
I mean, it is, I'm telling you, the ground shakes. That's all. It's
What I
my,
can say is, I appreciate you coming in, I appreciate you bringing it to our attention. Our enforcement officer is gonna look into it, and We'll let him know.
So come to us.
We'll find
Yeah,
out.
what if he is conducting some kind
We
of
can't
business?
get into what ifs.
Okay.
We have to determine the facts
Is
first.
he violating?
Okay.
Try to enforce it. Okay. All right, well, any other visitors? Any comments, anything else? Okay. I'm moving on to minutes of the June 17th meeting. Any revisions to the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second,
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have
Any
to
opposed?
abstain.
Abstain, okay, you have a conflict.
No,
I
you
wasn't
weren't
here.
there.
Oh, okay. Okay, you got that, Jamie? All approved, William abstain. Okay.
Okay, this is Stephanie. I just got a beep from my employer. I have to cut out. I'm sorry, folks. I don't have any options here.
That's fine. Thanks for coming when you could.
I said,
And just a reminder, Alex sitting for Bryce for the whole meeting. Okay, I get someone ringing me. I didn't recognize the number. I don't know if it was him, but it didn't have his name on it. But it was like at 7:01.
I couldn't figure out how to do
Yeah,
that.
maybe. So moving on to item 4, communications and bills. I really only received one invoice from Connecticut River Coastal Conservation District. It was about paying some dues.
yeah, okay, because I'm like, why are they invoicing? But
Yeah, it's a dues thing. Yeah, they're tapping everybody and Eric's taking care of that. I think it was in 2 installments. That's why I got a second statement. It was a statement, not an invoice, but anyway. And then I got Jamie's invoice for the month. I approved that and put it in Gina's basket to pay. That was pretty much it for the month. Old business regulations, Linda, we're gonna talk about the commercial district and accessory apartments that we've been marking up. And a week after our last meeting, some of us met here and redlined and reviewed and wordsmithed one of them, right? The commercial district, I think. Yeah. And she sent that around to everyone in advance and tonight as well, or not tonight, but a few days ago. So we can talk about that and have discussion on both of those.
Okay. Do you want to do that now, or do you want to go back, finish up new business since it's just setting?
Oh, you mean, well, I don't know, unless we can push it now that we're into the meeting, usually we do that up front.
Okay,
But,
just.
I mean, is anyone here for application 394, 395, Rock Ledge?
Yeah.
Jim's
Jim-
here for 395.
Jim's here for three
Why don't we
ninety-five.
knock that out and let Jim go?
Okay, all right, someone want to make a motion to take item 7B now?
I will move item 7B up to wherever we're at.
Before item 5. Old business, okay.
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay, so 2 movings. So 7B is special exception 395, which is 14 Route 80. Jim Lally, applicant, to put in a 40 by 60 foot addition to an existing building in an industrial zone. Just going to comment, this is also, it's a special exception due to being expansion of current use and multiple tenants. So, yeah, do you want to, Jim, just tell us what you're doing? Everyone got the plans and should have got the
Yeah, but,
application.
I've had that building for about almost 30 years, and I added on to it once already. And I had a tenant in there doing woodworking,
Rosewood, right?
Rosewood
Hmm.
shop. They were doing custom woodworking. And they didn't need any more room. Now I've got somebody in there named Aragoni. They make custom boat furniture, mahogany, all kinds of fancy stuff. And they could use more room to store like lumber that they can buy on sale or at a good deal and stockpile it. And they asked if I could put an addition on the back, which I'm doing. It wouldn't be 40 by 60, one big bay for now, with two doors.
They took over
Pardon?
They took over Rosewood's place?
Yeah, Rosewood, fellow owned it, died, lived right down the road here.
Is that by Stephanie's house?
Kinda.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
The industrial zone in
Yeah.
town is about that big, so.
I just did an application. We're going to, have a public hearing on this, the next meeting, since it's special exception, we're gonna have a public hearing that'll start next, well, hopefully start and finish next meeting. I think it's August 15th, whatever the third Tuesday is.
Now, I did have approval on this in 2017.
Okay, all right, that's good to know.
Went through all that, same thing, same building, same size. At the time, the tenant didn't need more room, so I held off. Then it expired, bad on me, 5 years. So they'll come back with the same plan Roger Nemrick did, same thing, 2017, 2022, and here we are, 25. It's similar use. I've got 3 bays now. I've got, well, 3 bays, 20 foot by 60 foot that had individual doors, and I'm adding 2 more on the back. So, well, I don't know how special it is, but it is what it is, I think, you know.
Yeah,
Conditioned space?
Or,
Will it be conditioned space, heated,
no, just cold storage.
cold storage? Okay.
For now.
and what I noticed, and if it's possible, the site plan, the existing contours and information are pretty faded. Is any way to darken that or make it more legible?
Yeah.
Possible for next month. Other than that, I can hold my other comments till to next month. On the application, though, I did see there were 2 different addresses for yourself.
Yes.
Is that,
Well, I live on Bunker Hill Road where my farm is, and I have an office up down in Clinton.
okay, all right. Okay. All right, so what we'll do with this one is we don't need to, approve it tonight because we are gonna go to public hearing next month. But, I'm gonna pull this up. So what we'll do is, Jamie, for, this application, 395, it's gonna, you'll need to do a notice of public hearing. And, for the next meeting. Oh, it's
Okay.
August 19th, right? It's Tuesday? Is that right? Does anybody have?
Working.
Okay, nice. Yeah, today's the 15th. I think it's August 19th, the third
Yes.
Tuesday of the
August
month.
19th.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, so then we'll take it up then and, make a decision on an approval of that at that time. Okay, Jim?
Okay, thank you.
So we'll see you in a month.
Yeah.
Hopefully a month. Okay, thanks.
Jim, do you have an email?
Yes,
Give it to me.
accounting at schumacconstruction.com.
I spell Schumack.
SCHUMACK.
Okay.
Construction.com.
Yes.
Okay, because I will send you the abutters list to send out for the notices. Okay, and yeah, and because you're so close, I have to go back and look and make sure we don't need to notify anyone in Deep River. Because you're like just about 500 feet, so I gotta go back and measure it and make sure.
Bull Bag is on the other, down below me on 80,
Mhm.
and then there's 2 houses
Yeah.
before you hit the Deep River line.
So
It's the 500 feet,
it's
right?
500 feet,
Okay,
so I gotta double check the thing, so we,
It's just a
Don't-
letter to them if it's like
yeah,
498 feet.
yeah, just to be safe, we don't wanna, have to do something and then have it get rejected because it wasn't done.
So if you see her with a long tape measure out there tomorrow. All right, okay, so, and we'll take up, application 394 and the order should be 7A, because that's Harkin, he's not here, that's okay.
Right,
So we'll jump back to item 5, and let's talk about the regulations, the commercial and accessory apartments.
okay.
You
So
want to just schedule that public hearing now?
for
Well, I'll
Hurricane,
do it after we talk this.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah,
All right.
I know what you're saying. Didn't want to move too much.
Okay.
What you're thinking. All right, everyone got these. I don't know if, I know some of us met a week after last meeting and we,
yeah, and then I took all the comments we had at the last meeting And what I did also is I moved the definitions, up to the beginning because if we're putting them all in the definition section, it just kind of makes sense to put it in that type of order, so. Again, those definitions are straight from the middle housing, multifamily, perfect six, straight from the state. So, so does anyone have any questions on what we discussed, to what we did?
Yep.
I Fortunately, haven't heard it, so.
All right, well, yeah, Al, go ahead. You have something?
Yeah, I, 1 second, I need a little light here. I just read this afternoon, just about half an hour before the meeting, actually. The thing comes across commercial cluster development. And then it goes on 2 or more commercial buildings adjoining, whatever, mixed use and multifamily buildings. Is this regulation, does it have to do with commercial situation? Because you read down it and it talks about billiard parlors and bowling alleys and all these different kind of what I would consider commercial endeavors.
Right.
But in the top, right under that, the commercial cluster development situation, it goes off into what I would call multifamily housing, basically. Now,
Okay,
I
so
haven't.
commercial.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, it's not a laughing matter. Okay. Now, the thing that I'm seeing is I haven't been into the multifamily. I don't even know whether we have regulations on multifamily housing because I've never had to deal with multifamily housing before in the P&Z. And what I would think that this middle housing, multifamily, perfect six situation would be more likely to be included in that situation, in a multifamily or multi-housing situation. Now, I know we went through the community situation that we've just gone through, and we passed the regulations on that. My questions basically are, is this regulation mainly about commercial situations, and all of a sudden there in the middle of it are multi-family housing? It seems strange to me. Is this the place that really multifamily housing and the stipulations are, because it actually stipulates a residential building containing not less than 2 dwelling units, but not more than 9. It goes off into multifamily housing, basically. This is residential, not commercial. And is this the situation where we should be discussing and regulating multifamily housing?
Okay, so the commercial cluster development, middle housing, multifamily housing, perfect six, those are all definitions that are going to be under our definition section of the regs. And the middle housing, the multifamily, the perfect six, they affect the commercial because even though the public act governor vetoed it, it's going to come back with middle housing, and that is going to be part of the new state commercial thing, allowing middle housing, which is 2 to 9 units, in a commercial zone. So it makes sense to talk about it and discuss mixed use properties, multifamily with commercial on the bottom floor. Those are all in a commercial zone. So, and those are all going to be part of the state housing bill when it comes back.
Well, I
So-
have to ask, has that been signed yet?
No,
We're
he
talking
vetoed
like-
it, but
Yeah.
if we
We're
don't do it
talking-
now while we're doing this, then we're just gonna have to go back in 6 months and put it all in.
Right.
So it makes sense to just.
We're not kicking the can down the road. We're trying to be proactive.
Right, like the accessory unit apartments, we have to make up many of those changes because the state made changes. So we know what the state's gonna do. They're gonna tweak what was done, but for the most part, it's gonna come through. They're just gonna basically say middle housing, you have to go get a site plan instead of just an as of right by a permit. Is what they're probably gonna do, is my guess, so. So that's why, that's why we put them in there.
Okay. All right, it just seemed weird, that's all.
You mentioned that you're pretty sure middle housing will come back, but not the perfect six or multifamily.
Well, perfect six is something that you could put on a commercial property. Perfect six is a 6-family house. 3 units, exactly the same on either side, 3 stories. That's why I just included it in our general definition, so if, you see it a lot mostly in cities.
Right.
Do I think we'll see it here? I doubt it, but, this way it's covered if somebody wonders what it is.
But you're,
So, and again, Alec, you realize that this document that we're looking at and discussing right now, these are definitions only. This isn't the actual regulation.
Well, yeah, down below it is.
Well, the first part where
Yes,
he's
first,
talking about
right.
is definitions.
yeah, but below. it
Yeah,
does
I
say the permitted use.
understand that, but it's including it in the commercial situation. That was my point. It's
Gotcha.
bringing it into the commercial. And like I said, I've not had to deal with multifamilies anywhere, whether it's commercial, residential, or anything in Killingworth, whilst I've been on the P&Z. And all of a sudden, we're putting it in to the commercial situation.
Alec, it looked a little weird to me as well. So you're not alone, but now I understand why we're doing it.
And your point is not to suggest that we allow this in residential, right? You're just surprised that we're talking about housing in commercial districts, right?
Yeah, well, like I say, I know that we haven't, outside of the 2 big white buildings, we really have had like a ongoing, from what I can view, a moratorium on not having multifamily housing in Killingworth. And the first thing that I've had to move on this or to listen to this is what Tom brought up and what we've just passed the regulation on, the community situation. And where you all of a sudden putting certain number of units on a smaller, denser situation. And I've not read if we do have multifamily regs in the regs. Are there such a thing? I haven't had any need to go to them. So I don't even know if they exist.
And I think I asked your question, might have been a little naive, like, we can't put these in here and then say, conditional based on state requiring it, right? It can't be like that. It's gotta be yes or no, right?
Right, yeah, and so, I mean, to continue to not basically allow multifamily, you're like looking for a lawsuit. If, I mean, the one thing with all of these regs are, they all need health approval. So if health says, no, the septics can't hold it, then they can't build it.
Right, we're still soil-based zoning.
Exactly.
At the end of the day,
Well,
right.
Exactly.
And I think the other thing we crossed was large commercial district, because we don't distinguish, right?
There was
One place where it said large.
one
commercial.
place, and that was all I could.
Yeah, and we're like, where do we even have distinction between regular and large?
Right,
commercial?
so, I mean, that's something we, need to discuss if we're just gonna call everything commercial.
Yeah.
I mean, because basically the stuff on 80 is large and the stuff on 81 is small.
Hmm.
Or commercial, that's your two differences and
Not by definition, just by size.
location.
Yeah, subjectively, not objectively, yeah.
Right, so, so that's something, when we go to, eventually we're gonna have to look at the map, so at that time we can do that. So,
571, it talks about buffer strips.
mhm.
Or is this our language or is this also taken from 5002? Or it says there shall be a landscape strip 15
Okay.
feet wide.
571 is exactly how it currently exists.
Okay.
I didn't change anything there. So if it's in bold, I added it. If it's in red, I crossed it out.
Cross it out, right?
If it's not in bold, it's exactly what your current regs say.
So Linda, are we at a point where we can take this to a public hearing?
Once I get the consensus from all of you that it's good, then I will send it to Attorney Brandt for legal sufficiency.
Mhm.
Once we make any changes to his comments, then we
Mhm.
could do public hearing. So
Okay,
maybe if you guys are happy with everything, I'm thinking maybe September.
and have you been successful in getting comments from the commission?
Those who showed up at the meeting, I got Tom's red line stuff for accessory apartments, but you guys are like radio silent.
I'll give you my minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, I was at
please,
the
if you
meeting.
have I know, right, you read. For those who weren't at the meeting, if you have questions, just email me. Email's better, that's the best way to do me, because I'm not in the office
At
every
the
day.
last meeting, we scheduled a workshop.
Yeah.
And myself and Jeff and Paul,
And
Stephanie and you showed up.
Yeah.
And everything else was crickets.
Yes,
So.
so please, I welcome your comments. I'm not gonna be offended
Bill,
if
you
you
weren't here,
hate
so you
something I
you
write.
didn't know
Yes.
about the workshop.
Yeah, so I mean, this is your town, so
How about skating rinks? Isn't that in one of them? That long,
it might be. I mean,
You know,
that's why a lot of this stuff, it was so vague. I said in like uses. So because we have you talk about hair salons and barbershops, but you don't talk about nail salons. So a nail salon basically is to me, is like a hair salon. So I said, and like uses,
Yeah,
so,
I see that.
instead of, because you're not gonna be able to list everything.
Right.
You
And your regs say if it's not listed, you can't do it.
Right.
So,
Exclusionary.
right, you already have 2 nail salons in town. So,
Yeah, we cleaned up that cultural, the way that was physical cultural.
yeah.
So at this point, Linda, would you say,
I mean, if you guys are happy with what it is,
if,
I will send it to,
yeah, well, we have,
Bryce.
other than Bryce, we have the whole commission here tonight.
Well, the next step, it's gonna go to our brands for
Mhm.
review.
Yeah.
And then, depending on,
Mhm.
that's gonna take some time.
Yep.
And then depending on what his feedback is, maybe it, comes back to us for some
Mhm.
additional
Okay,
tweaking.
and or you additional tweaking
Mhm.
and,
so that seems like the next step.
Yeah.
Okay,
If you guys are ready for me to do that, I will.
sure.
Yeah.
Say, if you're big sign, you're leaving it open for, say, comments tomorrow, but then the rest of us won't see or hear that, so. Yeah, I mean, do we say, let's button it up now to send to Brant's? Or does this get, dragged a month more?
It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
we need a vote to send it
No.
to Brent.
No,
Good.
just consensus.
So if additional comments do come in or
Yeah. we
something
can
else
always-
pops into my head at 2 AM,
Does
You
that-
email me, because I don't
Yeah,
see
because
until it comes in.
Brant's makes changes, we
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
could tweak it.
Linda,
probably
did
next
Exactly.
month, too.
Did you send out the revised one from the meeting you had?
Yeah, the one I
after?
sent out on Sunday.
Okay.
The one I sent Sunday was after we all met and all the changes I made. That you guys,
On,
the commercial,
I-
the one I sent it up.
Could I make a comment? The regulations are to regulate. They're not basically to preset something that may happen in the future. And if it does happen in the future, we can always include it in the regs. But to write something in the regs, it's then in the regs. And as you just said, if it's not in the regs, it's not allowed. That's how the regulations work. Once you start inserting certain things, certain paragraphs in certain places in the regs, they're slicked in. They become part of that section of the regs. You can call it definitions, you can call it whatever you want, but all of a sudden it is in that section of the regs. And
So Alec, you have to understand that
Archie,
we're
understand.
also we're a planning and zoning commission. This is part of our planning function. We're not just zoning, this is planning. Planning for the future, planning.
But as was said, we don't know what's coming down the pipe. Now, if we just say, okay, we're just going to write blanket, if we just blanket the situation, it's just open season on building.
Well, the
And
next step
regs
is not,
some regs.
Alec, the next step isn't to approve these regulations. The next step is to take where we're at this stage, send it over to Mark at Halloran and Sage, have him
Fine.
look it over, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm sure he's gonna have comments because it's fairly in-depth. And then it's gonna come back to us. We can have more discussion. We can make more changes. Meanwhile, the clock is still ticking on the revised legislation for 5002. We're
Right.
just, again, trying to be proactive and understanding that most likely this thing will pass in one way, shape, or form. So rather than just sitting and waiting for it to pass and then doing all this work, we're just trying to get ahead of the curve a little bit.
All right.
I mean, does that
thing is,
sound like a
it's
good approach?
No, it sounds like the cart before the horse.
Okay, so if that,
You know-
what would you recommend?
Well, I know it's going up to Brant's, so we'll just take it from there, and then, like you said, we'll have a more discussion.
Fair enough.
Okay,
Fine. I'm not going to stand in the
Okay,
way of
we
it
don't.
going up to Brant's. Yeah.
what else you got?
All right, item 5C, housing, it's a standing item. As we all know, we've approved the act of the
apartments?
adult community. Oh, you're right, accessory apartment, sorry. Okay, so Linda, yeah, on that same thing, like, what do we think of the language? No, you're right.
Right, I've done a few more changes. So my question is, for the accessory apartments, I mean, basically, they're an as of right on any residential lot, long as it can handle well and septic per state statute. So the question is, what do you want to see? Do you want to see ones with a new septic system? Do you want to see
So,
ones in accessory?
My biggest comment was if it's within 200 feet of your existing septic,
Mhm.
do you have to tie into your?
You don't, that's
You-
up to you,
Because
don't.
right now you carved that out, right?
Right, I said you don't have to.
You don't have to, because I don't think you should have to. I
Right.
think because there's a lot of lots that we have now
Mhm,
that like, what are you gonna pump it up a hill?
exactly, and
And you're
also,
excluding
right,
that building from being able to,
add another building.
add
right,
it, yeah.
Right, and the other thing also with, if you tie in two buildings, you have to go to the state for state.
State Health
Central.
Department has to make that call.
This-
Local
local
health
can't.
can't do it.
So that's why I carved it out.
okay, that's my biggest comment there.
Yeah, so I carved that out, so I don't know, if you.
Yeah,
if it's
no, that's good.
accessory Building, do you wanna
No,
see it?
That's good.
That's perfect.
Do you wanna see it if, the state state statute is 1/3 of the existing building or 1,000 square feet, whichever is smaller. And one bedroom. The biggest thing I'm getting from people coming in inquiring is they want at least 1,000 square feet and they want 2 bedrooms. I mean, that's the minimum that the state says you have to have. You guys can change that, we can leave it like that,
The
and
mi- the
if they
minimum,
want
you're saying the state is 1 bedroom.
one bedroom, if they want two,
I don't
they
see,
could do a special exception, we can make it as a special
I
exception,
don't,
and they come before you.
I don't see a problem of going up to 1,000 square feet and 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
Provided the septic can handle it. I
Yeah,
mean, again.
yeah.
so
It all comes,
elevate
it all comes
everything.
down to soil.
It does, it all comes down to
It all comes down to
septic,
soil and septic.
exactly,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and then the other thing was, and I'm very confused by this part, is the caretakers. We have them in 2 different zones and 2 different definitions of a caretaker's cottage.
20 acres or more.
Right, but why? If we're already gonna allow 2 bedrooms in anything. to meet
Well,
people.
because that's a house, not an accessory use apartment.
Uh-huh.
Right, so a caretaker
Like
apartment,
What's-
people
what's
a
the-
couple
what's
of,
the
couple of
difference?
months ago, right?
the caretaker, it can go up to
Well,
1,600 square feet.
Foundation, could have a full basement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but so
but
can an
your
accessory.
accessory apartment is what? Just,
Detached.
it's just a apartment over
A garage,
It could be a-
that has
it
that
could
has
be
a
Basement
foundation.
of a house.
No,
own
it can be a
It can be-
freestanding 1,000 square foot house,
It could be a
With a-
freestanding building.
right, with a foundation
Sure, yeah.
in a basement,
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Sure, why not?
exactly.
But someone was saying that you could go up to 1,600.
Well, it
Well-
shall not exceed 1,600,
On a caretaker's apartment,
Right.
1,600.
caretaker's apartment.
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I
I
don't
mean,
see
if
a
you
problem.
got a
Just-
4,000 square foot house, you're gonna get almost 1,600 as a third of it anyways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just don't, I just want to understand what your thinking was behind it, and
I don't know. I think I'd leave that alone for now.
you did, I didn't touch it, so that's why.
Comment, why have caretaker's apartment or caretaker apartments in 2 places?
Well, we have it in 2 different places. We have it here and we have a separate one for commercial and industrial. Like an industrial property that has a caretaker's house on it.
Hmm.
For the property.
Same requirements or different?
No, different requirements, different definitions, same wordage. That's that's.
Jim, you could load people into your building there one of those days, put some bunk beds
That's
in.
where you're going. That's where you're going.
And the other thing that I did take out on these, if you noticed, was that it has to, the owner has to live in one of them. Because,
You're talking about accessory dwelling units.
or the main dwelling.
I don't know why is that necessary? What if I
That
did
would-
not live here and I didn't sell my house and I have my kid live in my house?
That's
So,
good. That's a good point.
mhm.
Well,
I think what
the
most,
house prices go crazy. I'm not gonna have my kid go buy a house that's astronomical price when I bought my house for a third of the price it is now. They can I'm not gonna sell it. I just have them move into it. They don't have to go buy a house. They just move into it. Well,
Wish I
I
could
think,
parents
I
like that.
think that most towns put that provision in there to control development and to control housing. Right? So somebody comes in, a speculator comes into town and buys a house and pops up an accessory dwelling unit also, and then he rents both of them out. Is that a problem? Is it wrong?
I don't know if it's a problem yet. Maybe it's something we address in the
I
future.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
something
if
to
we
think
have
about.
like an Airbnb type of problem here yet, so.
Right, I mean, I really don't think it,
You know, the other thing that changed with the state regulation on ADUs was the reg that we passed 4 years ago, whatever
Right.
it was. Said you couldn't do an ADU in a new subdivision for 1 year.
mhm,
You can't build a subdivision and say, oh, and by the way,
It
we're offering
includes,
granny pods too, to make it more attractive. You couldn't do that per our reg.
we got rid of
Now
that.
you can. We didn't get rid of it yet,
we will with this,
but the
because,
state
the
knocked
state-
that out.
right,
You could build 20 lot subdivision and offer a granny pod with every one of them. And there's nothing, we have no swing over that.
okay.
And I don't have a problem with that either. I think that's fine.
Right, so yeah, so everything, most of what I did here, or
Yeah,
everything
Reduced it to one.
conforms to the state the state statute. So, I took out anything that didn't conform to it. So,
So Mike's question about, do we want to require the owner, to be in the primary residence?
Well, I wouldn't say, yeah, and I wouldn't say primary either
Or
because,
whatever it's called, the house, right, the main,
well, because you,
I don't know that it needs to
or
be.
one of the
right,
two.
I took it out for both.
Okay, so there is no requirement for the,
If that's up to you. If you guys wanna put it back in, you guys can vote to do that.
oh, your question was why was it even there?
Right,
It's not,
Yeah,
why is it there now?
I don't
Yeah,
know that we need it neither.
right.
Yeah,
yeah, right, okay.
All right.
it's really standard in almost every town. That it's owner occupied is required.
Not the, not all the ones who have updated their regs from the states thing
Right.
have kind of taken it out, a lot of them that I was looking at, but.
I'm fine with it.
And I did add a definition of kitchen at Paul's request. So I put that in the definitions and I just took it out of what the state building code says.
And I would be okay with owner or relative, occupied, but like you said, for grandparents or kids that are still there.
Family member.
Well, it doesn't have to be, we can't limit it to
Well,
family. Can't say it's gotta be a family member.
Right, so
Okay,
I made these changes.
Yes.
I will send these out tomorrow with the changes that I did make, so you guys can take a
That's great. Thank you.
look. And please send me your comments and if everything looks good to everyone, if you think it looks good, let me know it looks good. And if enough of you say it looks good, I'll send those
Yeah.
brands too. If not, we'll discuss them the next meeting.
Okay, all right, great.
okay. Next one is item 5C, which
Thank you
is
very much.
housing.
Good night, Jim. Good to see you.
Jim.
I do.
And that was, we previously approved the active adult community. And, notice was put in the paper that appeal period ends this Friday. So after this Friday, it'll be locked in. And then,
Appeal period ends this Friday?
Yeah, the 18th,
yeah, yeah.
based on when it was in the 15 days and stuff on the 18th,
Sorry, how many days was the appeal?
15
15.
standard.
15 from the published date?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it's the 18th. Now, so they're gonna be a new reg. Since we are doing all these other regs, I would say we publish it, we let, public know, we put it on the website. But we're not to send the regs out to be updated with just that, to be recodified until we get these other ones done.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
just make sure
Right.
we're on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we have a copy to give somebody if they
Yeah.
want it.
Yeah, I
But
will
we're not gonna
have
reprint the whole
copies and I'll
book.
make sure.
Yeah,
Dawn
it'll still
has-
be official as of Friday. It just we won't reprint the regs.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
gotcha, yeah.
So, and I'll just print out copies of
Yeah.
it and
Right.
Dawn will have some in the town clerk's
Right.
office and
Good.
we'll have some here. And we'll put it up.
Okay.
Whoever does the website, I'll have them put it. I think, so,
Yeah, I know they have, everyone's like, I have one of those hard copies that they
Yeah.
give you addendums for, like, it seems like that should just go electronic,
mhm, No.
everybody, yeah.
Okay.
All right, and the last one was, under housing, Tom's gonna, talk about what he and I did this, what was it? Last Friday?
Monday?
No,
Did we do it Friday or
it
Monday?
was Friday morning, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right, you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Pretty bad if you guys don't remember. Good Friday.
I remember that, I'm.
Say on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Good weekend.
Because I,
What he's talking about, I'll pass this out, make copies. Everyone could take one of those and then I just did about couple copies of pictures of what it looks like, just to give a flavor for it. So you could read this, not now, but on your own, but Tom, you want to just give a summary and I'll give you my 2 cents too.
yeah, so there was an article that appeared in, I think it was the New Haven Register, about this
I read that.
this little complex in Guilford that is basically it's affordable housing. It's cottage. They call it cottage housing. Affordable housing is basically 2 bedrooms. They range in size from about 1,300 square feet up to about 1,700 square feet. And the association that did it is a nonprofit, and they pretty much they actually built these things and sold them under market value because they had so much funding from state and other places. But so I got curious. I said, I gotta see this because this this is interesting. So Paul and I got in touch with the developer, and Paul and I went down and met him on Friday. And got a tour of the place, and it really did a nice job. We actually got into one of the units, and what's really cool is the first floor is post and beam. Not real post and beam, but it looks like a post and beam structure. They're really, really well done. They
Did
look,
they build them on site?
yeah, actually they're panelized. They come from two different suppliers, and then they put them together on site.
Huh.
Every one of these units has its own well, and every one has its own septic system.
Oh, wow.
There's slab on grade, there's no foundation.
Slab on grade.
Yeah, frost wall.
Yep, slab on grade. It's not over 55, it's not age restricted. There is one unit that has a mother and daughter in it, like a 13-year-old girl. But they sold like hotcakes. They were pre-sold. They were sold out before the
Right.
first nail was ever driven.
How many bedrooms were they?
Yeah, two bedrooms.
Okay.
The one of them three. Yes, one of them, the one we were in.
Three was 1,700 square.
Yeah, the one we toured had 3 bedrooms.
We don't have, the problem is.
Really, really well done. Really well done. And it's just, just a point of curiosity, on the heels of having passed our adult practice community regulation, which is age restricted. Things like this are starting to exist out here. The challenge is to find the land to do it,
Yeah.
right? And that's what Eric and I were alluding to earlier. The housing plan that we did with Rivercog 2-3 years ago, one of the recommendations is, and Joan talked about it at our last meeting, was the town should look at town-owned property the town already has.
I mean, we have all this open space, why?
Well, not open space, not that's land trust or, but the town actually owns the property, and do an inventory of what's out there. See if we could do something with it. Some way to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
like,
If the
That's
town
true.
does it, it does actually, there is a lot of funding when it's a nonprofit or the town.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's also a lot of other larger parcels with like an old farmhouse on it, and so,
Right.
you know,
that's what ended up always being prohibited of this is
the cost of the
the
land
cost of the land.
and the wells and.
And
stuff.
if we can,
Right,
if
developers
you can
don't.
get around 2 acres and the cost of the land.
Yeah.
And somehow create some type of community subdivision where.
Yeah, surprisingly, this is actually a subdivision, believe it or not.
Mhm.
I thought it was a common owned property,
Yeah.
it is an association, but the owners all own their little piece.
This is, and this is exactly how they build down south. This is exactly what they do in North Carolina. They have city water and sewers, it makes it easier, but yeah, they own, like where my mother lives, they own it's like 15 feet on the sides and like 25 feet in the
Yeah,
back.
kind of split
Yeah.
between the houses.
Yeah, they own that,
Yeah.
and the maintenance is done by the association and
association,
stuff.
right. So I don't know how much of a difference it really makes.
Mhm.
The problem is, we still can't get to 300 lots that they want us to.
No.
No, of course
Yeah.
not,
No.
of course not.
They kind of say that if you're making a move, like this has 7 houses, what they actually did, because they had to buy private land, it wasn't donated or town. They bought like a 15-acre lot that had a house already on it. They subdivided it, like Tom said, and they created 2 other lots on the frontage road.
Right.
They sold those as regular lots.
Right,
What do the
And they,
houses
that money
themselves,
helped pay for.
what do the houses themselves cost?
250 to 270.
Not the land. but
Yeah, to
the-
buy a house.
To buy the house with the land.
250,000.
But like, if you were just to buy the house without the
Oh.
land, like,
Oh, the house itself, I don't know, it's more per square foot than a normal house, but the cost savings is in the land.
Yeah,
He said these ones are more per square foot, maybe because they are compact and they're good material, they're really well insulated, energy efficient
yeah, they're
cottages,
super energy efficient.
Right.
They get all kinds of energy credits on it
Right.
and everything else.
A question,
It's,
is this affordable?
Yes,
Yes,
It-
It is,
80% though.
it is an affordable situation.
yes, but
Okay.
it's an 80% income level, he said. So they
Okay.
have to be below 80% of the mean, yeah, and that's the last page on this. I scan this at work, I could email it to everyone, so, you know, these
Okay.
guys have a hard copy, but you'll see it, Ally. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So a family of four needs to make 92,000, they have to make under $92,000.
Yeah, 92.
Family two under 74, yeah, I think I qualify.
But anyway, so I talked to Eric, after Paul and I met
Mhm.
on Friday. And, you know, I cited that fact that plan says, do a survey of what's available in town, land, what's available. And, so Eric agreed to talk to Rivercog, because it's gonna be a lot of work.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not something that we can dump this on Linda or dump it on the commission. We gotta get a hired gun to really do the homework and find out what's really out there.
Yeah, and it's something we're really gonna need, I think, going
Yeah,
down the line with the
yeah.
housing changes, looking from the state.
You know, and what's actually buildable?
Right.
Is there anything?
Doesn't that big laminated map, and I realize it's maybe not the most current, but it was in the POC as well, that the company that does it, and it's all in different colors showing.
Zoning, yeah.
Yeah, like what's
And it
open
has-
space,
Yeah,
what's
so
farmland,
isn't
what's
that already
not.
inventoried?
It is, but not to the kind of degree that we need it to be
Okay,
done.
okay.
But anyway, Megan down there at Rivercog she's a cracker jack
Yeah.
at this stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
we can,
But I thought the same thing, if the lot lines were determined, maybe electronically, it could say, here's all the lots more than 10 acres, you know?
Or
something like that.
go into
You still have
GIS
to
and.
qualify it some
well, you
more.
can do a lot with GIS.
Right, if
Yeah.
we have this capability, but our capability is
It's not really very sophisticated. I know you can
very
do
limited of
soils,
what we can do.
but
Yeah, ours is very limited of
Yeah.
what we have on our
Yeah.
GIS.
But you can't just pull a report that says town-owned land?
no.
Oh, you should be able to.
You should be
I
able
think you should be able to.
I mean, the assessor may be able to run a report on all the land owned by the town.
Yeah, I guess that's what I meant.
But, you know, then you have to look, I don't know how much land the town actually owns as far as, that is not in conservation. It wasn't donated as land,
Right.
not the land.
The report probably wouldn't say that. It would
Right.
just, you wouldn't know if it's.
Until you.
Well,
go
I
to
think
the
it-
part and looked at the.
I don't think we could do anything with conservation.
No,
land.
No.
We can't touch that.
right.
If it's either the land trust or it's,
Or if it's
I guess they don't want it bad enough.
what?
Guess they don't want it
Well,
bad
like,
enough.
think of that dirt road that they closed off, that, you're coming up 81 just before the circle and used to be able to veer right and they
Yeah,
closed it
Right.
off.
that's all like super wetland. That whole area right
Who
there,
owns that right in there?
that's all, I can tell you who owned it.
But it's right,
Is that
it's all wetlands. That's why the
but-
road was always
Yeah,
underwater.
I mean, you know, so much
Yeah,
of
that's,
the
Why
that's,
they closed.
land in town is owned by the state or Connecticut
Right.
Water Company and.
right.
And this was via ordinance, it's not in the regs, but they have an ordinance that allows this kind of community, and he did say if they did it again, he wouldn't have separate wells, he would probably do
Do
a
a
community
community
well.
Well,
That's-
yeah, pump
That's
house.
privately owned, but it's all wetland, that whole area.
Okay, interesting.
You know, that's what the other issue, with the town, there's so much wetland.
And I have the ordinance that they do it under, but, you know, I didn't scan it because it's like bound document, but it's just talking about cottage communities.
That was interesting though. It's, you know, it didn't take a zoning reg to pull this off.
Yeah, it's an.
They had to go to zoning, but it's a town
Ordinance,
ordinance.
yeah. not all
That allows
ordinance,
it.
they call it.
That's really strange.
Yeah, that is
Unique.
It's a little different.
And it's Guilford, it's not like, you know, up in the northeast, northwest corner of Connecticut, you know, so if Guilford can pull it off, you know. Why can't we? All right, okay, moving on then, zoning officers, enforcement officers report, Linda.
Don't really have a lot more,
Maybe next month, have something next month.
yeah. I can tell you, just so you know,
We lost Jamie somehow, wasn't it?
But it's being recorded.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's true, yeah, I was gonna say,
Um,
I think recorded.
there was a parcel of land or two parcels of land on Cow Hill. One was like, I don't know, 50, I wanna say 50 acres or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
and one was 13.
At the end of Little Road Trail.
Right.
Yep.
That was sold. Okay, so it was sold to David View, who is the CEO of CT Services. Turnbridge. He does not own Turnbridge, he's the CEO. He bought it in his own name. He is putting in one house on the larger parcel. He's gone to wetlands for a driveway. He actually came in and talked to me and Robin about it all. And the second parcel right now is just gonna be vacant. He may grow some vegetables on it. And eventually he's gonna build a house there for his daughter. And so we already know, people have already started calling and coming in because they saw who bought it. So he said, if you want, get questions. So we don't have a repeat of Green Hill. It is not gonna be any big development. He is planning on doing horses. He also plans on doing farm with growing vegetables and stuff, because he's really into like organic and knowing where his food comes from and stuff, so just so you guys all,
Yeah, I've already been getting.
so now you know the answer. Oh,
Other stuff? Yeah, thanks.
Treasurer duties.
Yeah.
so, and so that, and, you know, there's been just, so, you know, again, the inquiries about accessory apartments, inquiries about any vacant land that comes to town. I always know before it hits MLS that it's for sale, because we're getting a phone call on it from somebody looking to do something on it.
You still get a
so-
lot of calls about the piece down on the corner of 81 and Chittenden. It looks like a commercial property. There's a lot of trucks there. It's very wet.
I don't know.
It's a
I
house.
forgot.
Yeah, it's a house with a huge garage underneath.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
I don't know, I've
always
never gotten a
dumpster
call.
for a while.
yeah, always, yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in the office.
Oh.
Yeah. Constant calls on that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, this was, today was the first, like I said, when I came in, there was a written complaint on that
Right.
property, and that's the first I've heard of it, so.
I'm surprised that it took the neighbors so long to come in, come forward, a year and a half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, all at once. Other parts, report?
Nails?
All right, there's still one new business item, special exception 394, 250 Rockledge. That's Mike Harkins, applicant for the second or mixed-use building at the intersection. It is a special exception. We'll have a public hearing at our next meeting. That's one reason why I didn't come tonight, didn't need to present it. Jamie will have to do an NOPH for that also, so that and the 395 are both gonna have public hearings next month. And if you see anything that's missing in the application, if you're reviewing it, you know, that's what we're looking for at this point. So when we come, you know, to the hearing, it's not missing, you know, some permit or something that's required, although that's what Linda checks for that as well, obviously.
Yeah.
So, but if you happen to notice something, bring it up. So I had some red lines stuff on this, but I can save it till next month.
On both of them, or?
Yeah, both of them, not big stuff, yeah. Stuff that they could say, yeah, I'll adjust that, or, you know, make a, you know, conditional approval or something. But everyone has it, so you have a month to study as much as you want. Okay, then and move on to 9, then report of officers and subcommittees. Okay, if there aren't any, then we're gonna go into executive session for Running Brook Farms litigation. I'll brief you on that. Linda can also, Tom's aware of much of what's going on there. So what we'll do now is we'll stop recording, and I'll let Jamie know when the meeting ended, which will be after we discuss this litigation.
Alec, we're gonna shut the video